In Chapter 25, it talks about the debtor-creditor relations. The creditor is a lender in the transaction, and the debtor is a borrower in the transaction. The Dodd-Frank Act and Consumer Protection, credit and debit cards, Federal Reserve Boards decides a reasonable and proportional fee per transaction. Consumer loans, the new Consumer Financial Protection Bureau will regulate mortgage, credit cards, some payday lenders, and checking cashing companies, and lenders that provide private student loans. Fair Credit Billing Act eliminates inaccurate and unfair billing practices and limits the liability of consumer debtors or unauthorized use of their credit cards. The Equal Credit Opportunity Act is aimed at eliminating all forms of discrimination and granting credit. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, the goal is to ensure confidentiality of individuals' credit information received by credit agencies. The Electronic Fund Transfer Act, the goal is to regulate financial institutions that offer the service. Credit Card Accountability, Responsibility, and Disclosure Act of 2009 was made to institute new provisions on rates with no fee fixed for no limit fixed for new customers, but rates on old balances remain the same. The fees cannot be charged with exceeding credit limits unless the consumer has signed for it. And credit cards issued provide a 45-day notice before raising interest rates, but can close account with notice. The new bankruptcy law of 2011 technically affects the power of the court, the public access to papers, debtor reporting requirements, case administration, and priorities of creditors' claims. The goals of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code allow equitable distribution of the debtor's property among the debtor's creditors, discharge of the debtor from its debts, and enabling the debtor to rehabilitate itself and start fresh, and stabilize commercial usage and preserve ongoing business relations. So the rights of and the remedies of the creditor: the lien is the claim of the debtor's property that must be satisfied before any of the creditors can make a claim. The mortgage foreclosure is mortgages have a right to foreclose on real property when a debtor or mortgagor defaults. And then there is different types of liens: the mechanic's lien and the artisan's lien. And the mechanic's lien is placed on the real property of a debtor when the latter does not pay for the work done by the creditor, and the artisan's it enables the creditor to recover payment from a debtor for labor services provided on the debtor's personal property, which would include attachment, writ of execution, and garnishment.